In the journey of wealth building, the first step begins not with the external world, but with you, your thoughts, and your mindset. Picture this. It's a typical morning, and you're sitting with a cup of coffee in hand, watching the world rush past. But instead of feeling swept up by the currents of life, you're grounded, calm, and in control. You're not just a spectator of your finances, but a leader of them. You realize something fundamental. Wealth begins in the mind, far before it ever manifests in your bank account. And this realization isn't about some distant, vague dream. It's about how you think, act, and make decisions every single day. But here's the reality check. Many people will stay stuck, year after year, struggling to build lasting wealth. They point fingers at the economy, their upbringing, their job, or their circumstances. But let's be clear, those external factors can never define you, unless you let them. If your financial life feels chaotic or underwhelming, the first and most empowering step is to take full ownership, not with shame, but with clarity. Because clarity brings power, and that power starts with understanding this truth. You cannot change what you don't claim. You are the creator of your financial destiny. This isn't just some motivational talk. It's about rewiring your thought process so you can act with intention and vision. Most people react to money. They chase it, fear it, avoid it, or waste it. But wealth is built by thinkers who cultivate a relationship with money, not as an identity, but as a tool. It's not about the quick wins or getting rich overnight. It's about transforming your mindset and habits to create stable, lasting wealth. The first mental habit to adopt on this journey is radical responsibility. It's about taking full ownership of your financial reality. Blame is an easy escape. It's the economy's fault. My boss doesn't pay me enough. I didn't inherit wealth. But here's the secret. Wealth isn't created by inheritance or a high-paying job. It's created by taking control, by recognizing that your financial outcomes are a reflection of your choices, your habits, and your beliefs. This shift in mindset is the foundation of wealth building. Start by asking yourself some key questions. What are my current financial beliefs? What stories do I repeat about money? What habits do I justify that are keeping me stuck? Most people live in reaction to money, letting fear or impulse drive their decisions. But wealthy people think differently. They build, not react. They take control by setting a vision for their financial future, a vision that aligns with their highest values. This is the starting line. It's about making a mental shift from financial survival to financial leadership. Leadership begins with vision, and that vision starts with one critical question. Who are you becoming financially? Your financial future is not some random event. It's a result of the decisions you make today. And your decisions? They come from your mindset. If you want to build wealth, you need to think like a builder, not a blamer. You need to take full responsibility for where you are now and where you want to go. The mental shift. Wealthy thinkers understand that wealth doesn't come from playing it safe, from seeking quick fixes, or from living in reaction to external circumstances. Wealth comes from intentionality, the ability to make decisions based on long-term goals, not just short-term comfort. This is where long-term thinking comes into play. It's the second key mindset shift you need to make. Most people are wired for instant gratification. They want comfort now, validation now, results now, even if it costs them their future. Think about it. How many times have you made a decision because it felt good in the moment, only to regret it later? Maybe you bought something on impulse or ignored a long-term investment opportunity because the immediate rewards were more enticing. Wealthy people, however, understand the power of delaying gratification. They make decisions not based on how something feels today, but on how it will serve them years down the road. They embrace the idea that small sacrifices today lead to larger rewards tomorrow. Long-term thinking is not just about saving money or investing wisely. It's about adopting a mindset that sees every decision, every action, as part of a larger vision. Start by thinking about your financial future in terms of decades, not just days. Wealthy individuals ask themselves questions like, what do I want my life to look like in 10, 20, 30 years? What decisions will help me get there? They don't chase quick wins. They focus on building sustainable value. Here's a simple exercise. Take a moment and envision your life 5, 10, or 20 years from now. What does it look like? What are you doing with your time? How are you spending your money? Who are you surrounded by? Wealthy people don't just work for money. They work to build something that lasts. They create value. They don't rush the process because they understand that true wealth takes time. Incorporating long-term thinking into your life doesn't mean avoiding pleasure. It means understanding that short-term discomfort is often a necessary step to achieve long-term fulfillment. Wealthy thinkers focus on what matters most. They don't waste time on distractions. They set clear priorities and stick to them. This clarity about what truly matters is what allows them to build wealth. Asset thinking versus income thinking. Now, let's address something crucial. Most people think wealth comes from income. The more you earn, the wealthier you are. This thinking focuses on income, what you make in a given period. But true wealth isn't measured by income alone. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep, grow, and leverage. Wealthy individuals understand that the key to building lasting wealth is not earning more. It's keeping and growing what you have. The fundamental shift you need to make is from income thinking to asset thinking. Wealthy people focus on building assets, things that put money in their pocket, appreciate over time, or generate passive income. Think about it. You can earn $200,000 a year, but if your expenses are just as high, you're not truly building wealth. On the other hand, you could earn $50,000 a year and still become wealthy if you focus on building assets. What are assets? Investments, real estate, stocks, businesses, intellectual property, things that earn for you when you're not working. These are the tools of wealth. Liabilities, on the other hand, are things that cost you money and don't generate returns. Cars, credit card debt, and anything else that depletes your wealth without adding long-term value are liabilities. Wealthy thinkers are always focused on how much they can retain, invest, and leverage. They live by the rule: don't work for money, make money work for you. The good news is that you don't need a fortune to start. You just need to start thinking like someone who values ownership and long-term growth. The key is consistency, investing small amounts, steadily building assets, and letting time do the work. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about creating a stable foundation for the future. Time, the ultimate asset. As you build your wealth, you'll notice that time becomes increasingly important. Time is your most valuable asset. Think about it. You can always make more money, but you can never get more time. Wealthy people understand this. which is why they treat time with the utmost respect. They don't waste it on low-value tasks or distractions. Instead, they design their time around their priorities. Time is the one thing that separates those who build lasting wealth from those who don't. How you spend your time will determine the quality of your life and your financial future. Every decision you make today either builds or depletes your future wealth. That's why wealthy people are strategic with their time. They block out distractions. They delegate tasks. They make sure that their time is spent on what matters most. This doesn't mean working 24/7. It means being intentional. Take a hard look at how you're currently spending your time. Are you focused on high-leverage activities? Or are you wasting time on things that don't move you closer to your goals? Wealthy people don't get caught up in the busyness of life. They know that true success comes from working with purpose, not working harder. Closing thoughts on responsibility. The first step in building wealth is to take full responsibility for your life. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for where you are. It means accepting that you have the power to change your financial future, regardless of your current circumstances. Radical responsibility is about being the leader of your financial destiny. Take a moment to reflect on this. What story are you telling yourself about money? Wealthy thinkers understand that money is a tool, not a master. They use it as a means to create freedom, impact, and value in their lives and the lives of others. If you want to build wealth, you must first build the mindset that will allow it to flow to you. Remember, wealth doesn't come from external factors. It comes from you, the way you think, the choices you make, and the responsibility you take for your financial future. Start today by adopting radical responsibility. Take control of your money, and it will stop controlling you. Now that you've taken the first step toward understanding the importance of responsibility in wealth building, let's delve deeper into the next powerful principle: radical responsibility. This is not just about accepting your current financial situation, but about taking charge of your financial reality. You have the ability to transform your relationship with money, and it starts by claiming full ownership over your financial life. This process requires an uncomfortable but liberating shift in mindset, moving from a place of victimhood to a place of leadership. So, what does radical responsibility look like in practice? It's simple, but not easy. It means no longer blaming external circumstances for your financial situation. You don't blame the economy, your upbringing, your job, or anyone else for where you are financially. Instead, you shift from a mindset of blame to one of ownership. This can be a tough pill to swallow, but it's essential to realize that the power to change your financial situation lies within your hands. Your current reality is a reflection of the decisions you've made up until now. The stories you tell yourself about money play a huge role in shaping your financial outcomes. These stories could be holding you back without you even realizing it. Maybe you've told yourself that you're not good with money, that you'll never be wealthy, or that building financial security is out of reach. These are limiting beliefs, and if you're not careful, they can dictate your financial decisions. The first step in taking radical responsibility is to confront these beliefs and reframe them. Ask yourself, what is my current belief about money? What do I truly think about my ability to create wealth? If you can't answer these questions clearly and with confidence, it's time to shift your mindset. Radical responsibility is about challenging the beliefs that limit you and adopting new, empowering beliefs that align with the person you want to become. Wealthy thinkers have this in common. They believe they are fully in control of their financial future. And you can, too. Think of it this way. You cannot change what you don't claim. If you don't take responsibility for where you are, you'll never be able to take ownership of where you're going. The moment you own your current financial situation, you gain the power to change it. That's when you stop being a passive observer of your finances and start becoming an active participant in shaping your future. Clarity is power. The next step in the process of radical responsibility is gaining clarity. It's about understanding where you stand financially, right now. Most people avoid looking at their financial situation because it's uncomfortable. Maybe they're afraid of what they'll see, or perhaps they simply don't know how to start. But the truth is, clarity is power. When you know where you are, you can take the necessary steps to get where you want to go. This isn't about shame or guilt. It's about honesty. If your finances are disorganized, unclear, or overwhelming, the first thing you need to do is face it head on. Avoiding the truth won't make it go away, but taking ownership of it will empower you to create a plan. Start by writing down your current financial situation. What are your debts? What are your assets? How much do you earn? How much do you spend? These simple questions may seem basic, but they're the foundation of your financial clarity. Once you have this clarity, you'll be able to see opportunities that you might have missed before. You'll understand where your money is going and where you can make improvements. You'll know exactly what you need to do to move forward. Wealthy people don't shy away from this process. They embrace it. They understand that without clarity, it's impossible to make informed decisions. The habit of self-reflection. The next mental habit that will serve you well in this journey is the habit of self-reflection. To truly own your financial life, you need to consistently check in with yourself. This means examining your actions, your mindset, and your financial decisions on a regular basis. Ask yourself, are the choices I'm making today aligned with the future I want to create? Self-reflection is an ongoing process. It's about continuously evaluating your beliefs, your goals, and your actions. The wealthiest people make this a regular practice. They're constantly checking in with themselves, making adjustments, and fine-tuning their approach. This isn't just about looking at your bank account. It's about asking deeper questions like, am I investing my time wisely? Am I prioritizing my long-term goals over short-term gratification? Do I believe I deserve wealth, or do I subconsciously sabotage my success? By consistently asking yourself these questions, you'll be able to catch limiting beliefs and habits before they take root. It's a proactive approach to creating wealth, rather than a reactive one. Taking ownership of your money decisions. To build lasting wealth, you need to take ownership of every financial decision you make. This might sound simple, but it's something most people avoid. How often do you make financial decisions without really thinking them through? How many times have you made impulse purchases, taken on debt, or ignored opportunities simply because it felt easier in the moment? Wealthy thinkers don't act based on convenience or emotion. They act based on strategy, logic, and long-term vision. This requires a level of discipline and mindfulness that most people don't develop. But it's the key to building wealth. Every financial decision you make, from what you buy, to how you invest, to how you save, should align with your bigger vision for the future. It's about making decisions that are in line with your values and goals. For example, let's say you get an unexpected bonus at work. Many people will think, what can I buy with this money? But a wealth-building mindset shifts that thinking to, how can I use this money to create more wealth? Maybe it's investing in stocks, putting it toward a retirement account, or saving it for an investment opportunity that will pay off in the future. Radical responsibility means you take ownership of those decisions. You don't let external circumstances or fleeting emotions dictate how you use your money. You make strategic choices that align with your vision for the future. Stop chasing quick fixes. Another aspect of radical responsibility is letting go of the need for quick fixes. Many people want to get rich quickly. They dream of winning the lottery or making a fast investment that pays off overnight. But the reality is that true wealth is built over time, through consistent decisions and patience. Wealthy thinkers don't chase quick fixes. They understand that building lasting wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. This means being willing to delay gratification, to pass up on short-term pleasures for long-term gains. Whether it's resisting the urge to splurge on unnecessary purchases or putting off immediate rewards in favor of investing in your future. Long-term thinking is essential for success. We live in a society that rewards instant gratification. Everything from fast food to quick loans is available at our fingertips. But the truth is that the most successful people in the world don't operate on a quick fix mentality. They embrace the process, understand the value of patience, and build wealth steadily over time. The Millionaire Mindset. Radical responsibility is the foundation of the Millionaire Mindset. It's the mental framework that allows you to take control of your life and your finances. This mindset is about more than just making money. It's about creating a life that's intentional, purposeful, and aligned with your highest values. The wealthy don't just earn money, they build wealth. They understand that wealth is not just about accumulating assets. It's about building a life that reflects their values and vision. When you adopt a millionaire mindset, you stop chasing fleeting goals and start focusing on creating something that lasts. And it all starts with radical responsibility. It starts with taking ownership of your financial situation, setting clear goals, and making decisions that align with your vision. It starts with the realization that you have the power to create the financial future you want. You are the author of your financial story, and with radical responsibility, you can rewrite that story in a way that empowers you to create lasting wealth. As you continue to take full ownership of your financial situation, it's time to dive into one of the most crucial habits of the wealthy: long-term thinking. Wealthy individuals are not focused on the here and now, nor do they seek instant gratification. They know that true wealth is built over time. Their focus is on the future, where they want to be years from now, not months. Understanding this principle is key to adopting a millionaire mindset, because wealth is rarely built overnight. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Let's start by considering a simple concept: delayed gratification. It's easy to want things now, whether it's a new car, a vacation, or even a high-end gadget. But wealthy individuals don't act on impulse. Instead, they make decisions that serve them in the long run. They understand the importance of thinking decades into the future, rather than focusing on the short-term satisfaction of today's desires. Imagine you have the option to purchase something today, something that will give you temporary satisfaction, but ultimately won't contribute to your financial growth. Now, let's say you decide instead to invest that money or save it for something that will bring you greater returns in the future. This is the mindset that builds lasting wealth. It's about thinking beyond immediate pleasures and focusing on the rewards that come from long-term planning and smart investments. When you take a long-term approach to wealth building, you're not simply accumulating assets. You're strategically positioning yourself for future success. Wealthy individuals are thinking in terms of decades. They know that every decision they make today will have a ripple effect on their future. Whether it's the time they spend building their business, investing in education, or even choosing to spend time with people who challenge and support them, each decision adds to their future prosperity. The power of long-term vision. Having a long-term vision isn't just about delaying gratification. It's about seeing the bigger picture. Wealthy people think about their financial futures in terms of vision and purpose. They don't measure success by how much money they have today. They focus on where they want to be in 20 or 30 years. This long-term thinking also influences their decision-making. When faced with an opportunity or a challenge, they ask themselves, what will this decision mean for me 5, 10, or even 20 years down the road? It's not about chasing quick wins. It's about setting a course and sticking to it. To adopt this mindset, start by asking yourself, what does financial freedom look like for me? What kind of lifestyle do I want in the future? What steps can I take today to move me closer to that vision? Wealthy people don't just wait for things to happen. They create a vision for their lives and take deliberate, strategic action every day to bring that vision to life. A long-term vision provides clarity, which is essential for decision-making. When you have a clear vision of where you want to go, the path forward becomes much clearer. You no longer waste time on distractions or short-term impulses. You make decisions based on where you're headed, not based on what feels good in the moment. Patience. A key ingredient for wealth. Patience is a cornerstone of long-term thinking. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with messages about fast success and instant rewards, it can be difficult to embrace patience. But here's the truth. Wealth building is a process. It's not about making money quickly. It's about making money steadily, with intention, over time. Wealthy people understand that patience is necessary for success. They know that anything worth building takes time. Whether it's growing a business, building a real estate portfolio, or investing in the stock market, patience is key. Short-term gratification often leads to impulsive decisions, which can ultimately sabotage long-term success. Think about compounding interest. When you invest money and allow it to grow over time, the effects of compounding become powerful. Your money doesn't just earn interest on the initial amount, it earns interest on the interest. This principle applies to many areas of life, including your career, relationships, and personal growth. The longer you allow something to grow, the more powerful the results become. Wealthy individuals understand this concept deeply. They make consistent, smart decisions today, knowing that the rewards will multiply over time. Avoiding the trap of instant gratification. The world we live in today is designed to cater to our desires for immediate satisfaction. We can buy what we want with the click of a button. We can satisfy our hunger with fast food. We can even get instant feedback through social media likes and comments. But if you're serious about building wealth, you need to resist the temptation of instant gratification. Instant gratification is a short-term pleasure, but it often comes at the cost of long-term growth. Take the example of buying a new luxury car. It might feel great in the moment, but if you're financing it with debt, you're not building wealth. On the other hand, if you invest that money or save it for a property or business, you're building something that will grow in value over time. Wealthy individuals recognize the power of saying no to things that don't contribute to their long-term vision. They don't waste money on things that will lose value. Instead, they focus on assets that will appreciate over time. The key here is discipline. You need to practice self-control and make decisions based on long-term goals, not short-term desires. The role of strategic action. Long-term thinking isn't just about waiting for the future. It's about taking action today that will set you up for success tomorrow. Wealthy people don't just sit back and hope for things to happen. They take deliberate, strategic action every day. They set clear goals, break them down into manageable steps, and then take consistent action toward those goals. Strategic action means planning ahead, understanding what needs to be done, and executing with purpose. It's about creating a roadmap for your financial future and following it, one step at a time. You may not see immediate results from your actions, but that's okay. The key is consistency. Over time, your actions will compound, and you'll see the results. Start by setting clear, long-term goals. What do you want to achieve in the next 10 years? Once you have a vision, break it down into smaller, actionable steps. What can you do today that will bring you closer to that vision? This process of taking strategic action is what will ultimately lead to financial freedom. The long-term mindset of wealthy people. Wealthy individuals view their financial futures as a journey. They don't just focus on the destination, they enjoy the process. They understand that wealth is built one decision at a time, and they embrace the slow, steady progress that comes from long-term thinking. They don't chase after quick fixes or get discouraged when things don't happen overnight. Instead, they trust the process, remain disciplined, and stay focused on their long-term goals. If you want to adopt this mindset, you need to let go of the desire for instant results. Trust that the steps you're taking today, no matter how small, are adding up to something much bigger in the future. Understand that true wealth isn't about how much money you make. It's about how much you can build over time. And that requires patience, consistency, and a commitment to long-term success. Conclusion. Long-term thinking is the foundation of wealth building. It's about understanding that the path to financial freedom is not a quick one. It's about making strategic decisions today that will pay off years down the road. Wealthy people don't just focus on earning money. They focus on building something that lasts. They take consistent, intentional action, knowing that over time, their efforts will pay off. If you want to create lasting wealth, it's time to shift your focus from short-term satisfaction to long-term success. Remember, wealth is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So, take a deep breath, look ahead, and embrace the long-term journey. Let's explore a crucial principle that separates the wealthy from the rest: building assets, not just income. It's easy to assume that the key to wealth lies in earning more money. But wealth isn't solely about income. It's about ownership, growth, and leveraging assets. If you truly want to build long-lasting wealth, you need to shift your focus from simply increasing your income to acquiring and building assets that will work for you. Think about it this way. Income is what you earn, but assets are what you keep. Assets have the potential to appreciate, generate passive income, and reduce your dependency on active work. Without assets, your financial growth will always be limited to the amount of income you can earn. But when you focus on building assets, your wealth begins to multiply, often without requiring you to actively trade your time for money. Many people are stuck in the cycle of earning and spending. They work hard to earn a paycheck, but their financial situation doesn't change much because they continue to spend what they earn. This is an income-driven mindset, and it's one that limits your wealth-building potential. But wealthy people understand that building assets is what creates true financial freedom. This mindset isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about creating systems that generate wealth on their own. Systems that are independent of your time. What are assets? So, what exactly are assets? Simply put, assets are things that put money in your pocket, build value over time, and help you create wealth. These could be investments like stocks, bonds, real estate, or a business you own. They could also include intellectual property such as books, patents, or software that generates income long after the initial effort has been made. Wealthy individuals think about wealth in terms of assets. They don't just ask themselves, "How much money can I make?" They ask, "How much of what I earn can I keep and turn into something that generates passive income?" Wealthy people understand that assets are the tools that allow them to create money without working constantly, whether it's through rental properties, investments, or intellectual property. The goal is to build wealth that works for them, even when they aren't actively working. Think about real estate, for example. A person who invests in a rental property creates an asset that generates passive income. Instead of just earning money from a job, they are building an asset that will appreciate over time while providing ongoing income. Or consider the example of investing in stocks. With the right strategy, you can generate returns on your investments year after year without having to actively trade your time for money. These assets work for you. The difference between assets and liabilities. A critical part of building wealth is understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Think of things like credit card debt, car loans, or expensive vacations that don't provide long-term value. While liabilities might bring short-term pleasure or comfort, they don't build wealth. Wealthy people, on the other hand, focus on acquiring assets, things that will generate income, appreciate in value, or help them build long-term wealth. For instance, an expensive car may feel like a status symbol, but if it's financed with debt, it's not an asset. It's a liability. A house that's being rented out, however, is an asset because it generates passive income over time. This is where the power of mindset comes in. Wealthy individuals train themselves to recognize the difference between what will help them build wealth and what will drain their resources. They're not interested in temporary pleasures. Instead, they ask themselves, will this decision build long-term value, or is it just an expense? Start small. Building assets from the ground up. You don't need millions to start building assets. The key is to start small, make steady progress, and focus on the long term. For example, you might start by investing in a small amount of stocks or purchasing a property in an affordable market. The key is consistency. Over time, those small investments can grow, and you'll start to see the power of compounding in action. It's easy to think that you need a large sum of money to begin investing in real estate or stocks. But that's simply not true. Today, with apps and platforms that allow you to invest with just a small amount of money, the barrier to entry is lower than ever. The important thing is to begin. Even if you're only able to invest a small amount at first, starting now will put you on the path to building assets that will appreciate over time. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity or a large lump sum of money to get started. The best time to begin building assets is today. Start with what you have and commit to making strategic decisions that will serve you in the long term. As you gain experience and knowledge, you'll be able to expand your portfolio of assets and continue to grow your wealth. The power of leverage. As you continue to build assets, it's essential to understand the concept of leverage. Leverage is the ability to use borrowed capital or resources to amplify the potential return on an investment. This principle is at the core of wealth-building strategies. Wealthy individuals understand how to use leverage effectively to increase their wealth. Leverage can take many forms. It could mean using a mortgage to purchase real estate or using credit to invest in a business. By using leverage, you can control assets that are worth more than what you could afford to purchase outright. The key is to use leverage responsibly, making sure that the asset you're acquiring is generating enough income or appreciation to cover the cost of the loan and then some. For instance, let's say you want to invest in a rental property. Instead of using all of your savings to buy the property outright, you could take out a mortgage. You would only need to put down a small amount up front, and the rental income from the property would cover the mortgage payments, allowing you to build equity over time. This is the power of leverage. By using other people's money, in this case, a bank's money, you're able to control a larger asset and increase your potential return on investment. The role of passive income. One of the most powerful aspects of asset building is the ability to generate passive income. Passive income is money that comes in regularly without requiring you to actively work for it. It could come from rental properties, dividends from stocks, royalties from books or music, or any other investment that generates income without your daily involvement. The key to building lasting wealth is creating systems that generate passive income. When you focus on building assets that work for you, you free up your time and energy to focus on other opportunities. The wealthy know that true financial freedom comes from creating streams of passive income. The more passive income you have, the less dependent you are on your job or active work to generate money. This is what creates true wealth and freedom. Creating financial independence. Financial independence is the ultimate goal for many people. It's the point where your assets generate enough income to cover your expenses without you needing to work actively. Achieving financial independence requires building assets, leveraging your investments, and generating passive income streams that cover your living expenses. Financial independence doesn't mean you stop working. It means you have the freedom to choose what you want to do. You can focus on passion projects, spend more time with family, or pursue other ventures without worrying about money. The key is building a portfolio of assets that generate enough income to sustain your lifestyle. To achieve this, it's crucial to continue growing your assets over time, whether it's through real estate, investments, or building a business. The goal is to create multiple streams of income that will continue to work for you even when you're not actively working. The more assets you accumulate, the closer you get to financial independence. The mindset shift. From earners to builders. The wealth-building process requires a mindset shift from being an earner to being a builder. Instead of simply earning money and spending it, wealthy individuals focus on building things that will create long-term value. They think about ownership, growth, and creating assets that will generate income over time. It's not about how much you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn. The more you focus on building assets and investing wisely, the more your wealth will grow. The key is to shift from an income-driven mindset to an asset-driven mindset. When you do this, your wealth-building efforts will become much more effective and sustainable over time. Conclusion: the power of asset thinking, building assets, is the key to creating lasting wealth. Whether you're starting small with stocks or real estate, or focusing on intellectual property or businesses, the goal is to acquire assets that generate income and appreciate in value over time. With patience, leverage, and strategic action, you can start building wealth that works for you. The key is to focus on assets, not just income. By shifting your mindset and focusing on asset building, you'll be on the path to financial freedom and long-term success. As you continue to build your wealth and adopt an asset-building mindset, there is one principle that will ultimately define how successful you are in your wealth-building journey. Time is your most valuable asset. If you want to truly understand wealth, you must grasp the power of time. The rich don't just focus on how much they can earn, they focus on how they can maximize their time. Wealthy individuals understand that time is the one resource that, once lost, can never be recovered. It's the asset that has the greatest leverage in wealth creation. Time, your non-renewable resource. Unlike money, time cannot be earned back. No matter how successful or wealthy you become, you can never buy more time. This makes it the most precious resource you have, and how you choose to spend it will determine your financial future. The key to using time wisely is understanding that it's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about leveraging your time in ways that multiply the value of every hour you invest. Imagine for a moment, you're given 24 hours in a day, just like everyone else. But what you do with those 24 hours is where the difference lies. The wealthy use their time strategically. They prioritize their tasks, set clear goals, and focus their attention on what will provide the greatest return on investment. They don't waste time on unimportant tasks or distractions. They treat their time like an asset, understanding that every hour spent on high-leverage activities today will pay off exponentially tomorrow. This isn't just about working long hours. It's about working with intention. Time management isn't just about doing more. It's about doing the right things. The wealthy understand that success isn't about cramming more tasks into your day. It's about maximizing the value of the time you already have by focusing on what truly matters. The compound effect of time. If you want to build wealth, you need to understand the power of compounding. Just as compounding works with investments, growing exponentially over time, it works with your time as well. The more you invest your time in high-value activities today, the more those efforts will multiply over time. The wealthy think in terms of leverage and compounding, knowing that their time will yield greater returns if used wisely. For example, when wealthy individuals invest their time in learning new skills or expanding their knowledge, they are investing in future opportunities. They are positioning themselves to take advantage of the compound effect, just as a small investment grows exponentially in the stock market. So does knowledge and expertise. The more time they invest in mastering their craft, building relationships, or growing their businesses, the more that time works for them in the long run. This doesn't just apply to business, it applies to personal growth as well. The time you spend developing good habits, building mental resilience, and improving your emotional intelligence compounds over time. It's the small, consistent efforts that lead to massive results. By committing to investing your time wisely, you set yourself up for greater opportunities and success down the line. Focus and time management. Protecting your time. Time management isn't just about creating a to-do list. It's about protecting your time. Wealthy individuals guard their time fiercely. They don't let distractions steal their focus or allow others to waste their precious hours. They are strategic about their daily schedules, creating blocks of time for the most important activities, and they understand the power of saying no. One of the most critical habits of the wealthy is time blocking. This is the practice of setting aside specific periods of time for focused work on high-priority tasks. By scheduling uninterrupted time to focus on your most important activities, you can ensure that your energy and attention are being used in the most productive way possible. Whether it's a few hours of deep work on a business project, time set aside for personal development, or moments dedicated to building relationships, time blocking ensures that you're working with intention and purpose. Wealthy individuals also understand the importance of protecting their focus. In a world full of distractions, social media, emails, phone calls, it's easy to lose track of time. That's why the wealthy use tools and techniques to guard their focus. They turn off notifications, eliminate unnecessary meetings, and create environments that encourage concentration. They know that time spent distracted is time wasted, and they protect their most valuable asset by staying focused on what truly matters. The art of delegation. Freeing up time for high-leverage activities. Another key way that wealthy individuals manage their time is through delegation. They understand that they cannot do everything themselves, nor should they. Instead of spending their time on tasks that are low value or outside their zone of genius, they delegate them to others who are better suited for the task. This frees up their time to focus on high-leverage activities that directly contribute to their financial success. Delegation is about leveraging the skills and expertise of others to help you achieve your goals faster and more effectively. Wealthy individuals build teams, hire experts, and use outsourcing to multiply their efforts. They know that their time is too valuable to spend on tasks that don't move them closer to their ultimate goals. Think about it. If you're trying to build a business and you're spending hours on tasks like answering emails or managing routine administrative work, you're not focusing on the activities that will generate the most growth. Instead, you can delegate those tasks to someone else and free up your time to focus on strategy, innovation, and scaling the business. Delegation isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It shows that you value your time and understand how to leverage resources to achieve greater success. Time and financial freedom. Ultimately, mastering your time is key to achieving financial freedom. When you learn how to protect your time, invest it wisely, and leverage it for maximum returns, you put yourself on the path to independence. Financial freedom doesn't mean working harder. It means working smarter and designing your life around what matters most. Wealthy individuals understand that financial freedom comes when their time is no longer dictated by a paycheck. They've built systems, assets, and income streams that work for them, allowing them to free up their time to focus on what truly brings them fulfillment. The more you master your time, the more opportunities will open up for you to create wealth, spend time with loved ones, and live life on your own terms. Financial freedom also means being able to choose how you spend your time without being bound by the necessity of earning a living. It means being able to live in alignment with your values and vision, and using your time to create meaningful experiences rather than working just to survive. Time as a lever of wealth creation. In the world of wealth building, time is not just a passive factor, it is an active lever. Wealthy people understand that time is a tool they can use to multiply their efforts. Whether it's through investing in businesses, real estate, or personal growth, The more time they invest today, the greater the returns they will see in the future. One of the most powerful shifts you can make in your own life is to start thinking of time as an investment. Instead of seeing time as something that's being spent, start seeing it as something that's being invested in your future. Every moment you spend on high-leverage activities today will pay off tomorrow. The more strategic you are with your time, the more you will create the financial future you desire. Conclusion: maximizing your time for wealth. Your time is your most valuable asset. It's the one thing that you can never get back once it's gone. That's why it's essential to treat time as the asset it is, by managing it strategically, investing it wisely, and using it to build wealth that will work for you. Wealthy individuals understand the power of time and how to leverage it for financial success. By focusing on high-leverage activities, protecting your focus, and learning the art of delegation, you'll be well on your way to mastering your time and, ultimately, your financial future. Remember, time is not just a resource, it's the most powerful resource you have. Use it wisely, invest it in what truly matters, and watch how it works for you, creating wealth and freedom in your life. As you embark on your journey to financial freedom, one of the most essential mindsets you must cultivate is resilience. Wealthy individuals do not simply coast through life without challenges. They face setbacks, mistakes, and rejections just like anyone else. But what sets them apart is how they respond to adversity. They see failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as an essential part of their journey to success. Resilience isn't just a trait, it's a habit that can be developed and strengthened over time. In fact, resilience may be the most critical quality you can develop to ensure long-term success. Without resilience, even the best financial strategies or business plans can fall apart when faced with challenges. But with resilience, you can turn setbacks into stepping stones, adapt to changes, and continue to move forward with confidence, no matter the obstacles that arise. Redefining failure. The first step in building resilience is to redefine failure. Most people view failure as a sign of weakness, something to be avoided at all costs. It's often seen as something personal. I failed, therefore, I am a failure. But wealthy individuals see failure differently. To them, failure is simply feedback, a learning opportunity that provides valuable lessons for future success. Wealthy thinkers understand that failure is not an end, but a beginning. When something doesn't work out, they ask themselves, what can I learn from this? What part of my strategy needs adjustment? They don't take failure personally. They separate their identity from their performance. A failed investment, a missed business opportunity, or a rejected proposal doesn't mean they're incapable. It simply means they need to adjust their approach and try again. When you can embrace failure as a natural part of growth, you free yourself from the fear of making mistakes. The fear of failure holds many people back from taking risks or trying new things. But wealthy individuals don't shy away from failure. They lean into it. They understand that every setback is an opportunity to improve, to grow, and to move one step closer to their financial goals. The power of persistence. Another key component of resilience is persistence. Wealthy individuals don't give up after a single failure or setback. They keep going, even when the going gets tough. They understand that success is often a result of consistent effort, not instant results. Persistence is the ability to keep pushing forward, even when it seems like nothing is working. It's about having a vision and a goal and continuing to work toward that goal, day after day, regardless of the challenges. Think about some of the most successful entrepreneurs and investors. They didn't achieve success because everything went smoothly. In fact, many of them experienced multiple failures before finally finding success. But they didn't quit. They kept going, learning from their mistakes, and adjusting their strategies until they achieved their goals. Persistence doesn't mean blindly continuing down a path that isn't working. It means having the resilience to pivot, adapt, and keep trying new approaches until you find the one that works. It's about being flexible and open to change, while staying committed to your long-term vision. Building emotional toughness resilience isn't just about mental toughness. It's also about emotional toughness. The ability to stay calm, composed, and clear-headed in the face of adversity is a critical skill for wealth building. Emotional toughness is the ability to manage your emotions, particularly in high-pressure situations, and avoid being swept away by fear, frustration, or disappointment. When faced with a setback, it's easy to get discouraged or overwhelmed. You might feel like giving up or taking the easier route. But emotional toughness allows you to stay grounded and focused, even when things aren't going as planned. Wealthy individuals have trained themselves to stay calm under pressure. They understand that emotions, while natural, shouldn't dictate their decisions or actions. This emotional resilience is built over time. It's the result of consistently facing challenges, learning to stay composed, and developing coping mechanisms for stress. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply taking a moment to breathe. Wealthy individuals have learned how to manage their emotions and use them as tools for growth rather than obstacles. Turning setbacks into stepping stones. One of the most powerful things about resilience is its ability to transform setbacks into opportunities. When things go wrong, many people tend to shut down, become discouraged, or even give up. But resilient individuals don't let setbacks define them. Instead, they use those setbacks to grow stronger. Every failure becomes a stepping stone toward success. For example, let's say you lose money on an investment. Instead of seeing it as a personal failure, ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I learn from this experience? Resilient individuals view failures as valuable lessons. They analyze what happened, make adjustments, and apply those lessons to future opportunities. The ability to fail forward, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving sets successful individuals apart from those who stay stuck in the same place. This is a powerful mindset shift. Instead of being discouraged by setbacks, embrace them as part of your learning process. The more you fail and learn, the more you grow, and the closer you get to your ultimate goals. The wealthy understand that success isn't linear. It's a process of trial, error, learning, and improving. Resilience is what keeps them moving forward, no matter what obstacles they encounter. Developing a growth mindset. A crucial element of resilience is the ability to cultivate a growth mindset. The growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, dedication, and learning. This mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities to grow, rather than as insurmountable obstacles. Individuals with a growth mindset are more resilient because they believe that setbacks are a normal part of the learning process. They don't see failure as a reflection of their abilities. They see it as a chance to improve. This mindset allows them to stay motivated and focused, even when things get tough. They understand that growth is a continual process, and that every challenge is an opportunity to learn and become better. To develop a growth mindset, start by embracing challenges and viewing them as opportunities for growth. When faced with a setback, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," try thinking, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve?" This shift in thinking will help you build resilience and turn setbacks into stepping stones. Resilience and wealth building. Resilience is essential to wealth building because the road to financial freedom is rarely smooth. There will be bumps, detours, and even roadblocks along the way. But resilience allows you to keep moving forward, even when things get difficult. Whether you face personal setbacks, financial challenges, or business hurdles, your ability to stay resilient will determine your success. The key is to keep going. Wealthy individuals understand that setbacks are just part of the process. They know that financial freedom doesn't happen overnight, and that the journey is filled with obstacles. But they also know that resilience is what allows them to overcome those obstacles and continue on their path towards success. Building resilience through consistency. One of the best ways to build resilience is through consistency. When you stay consistent in your actions, even when you face challenges, you develop mental and emotional toughness. Consistency is the foundation of success because it's not about working hard for a few weeks or months. It's about staying committed to your goals for the long term. Whether you're building a business, investing, or working toward personal goals, consistency is key. The more consistently you take action, the more resilient you become. Wealthy individuals are consistent in their efforts, even when they don't see immediate results. They trust the process and know that consistency over time will lead to success. Conclusion: embracing resilience. To build wealth, you must embrace resilience. It's not about avoiding failure or overcoming obstacles instantly. It's about developing the ability to face setbacks, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Resilience allows you to turn challenges into opportunities, failures into lessons, and setbacks into stepping stones. Remember, every successful individual you admire has faced adversity. What sets them apart is their resilience. They didn't give up. They kept going. They kept learning. And they kept growing. And that's exactly what you need to do. Embrace failure, embrace challenges, and build the resilience that will carry you toward your financial goals. As you continue to build wealth and develop resilience, there's another powerful habit that will be crucial in your success: self-belief. The foundation of lasting wealth is rooted not just in strategies, habits, or assets, but in the unwavering belief that you are worthy of success and capable of achieving it. Wealthy individuals don't wait for external validation. They create their own belief in their potential, which drives every decision and action they take. The power of self-belief. Self-belief is often underestimated in wealth building. We tend to focus on the technical aspects, investing, saving, managing debt, while overlooking the importance of mindset. But belief in your abilities, your worth, and your capacity to succeed is essential to building the kind of wealth that lasts. Without self-belief, you might have all the resources and strategies, but you won't have the conviction to follow through with them. Take a moment and think, do I believe I am worthy of building wealth? Do I truly believe I can achieve financial freedom? Or do I feel like it's out of my reach? The most successful people in the world don't just believe they can achieve their goals, they believe they deserve to. and that belief is what propels them to take action, persist through challenges, and never back down from their vision. Self-belief and financial success. Self-belief shapes your financial decisions. When you have confidence in your abilities and your potential, you make decisions with conviction. You take risks because you believe in your capacity to learn and adapt. You make investments because you trust that you'll be able to manage and grow your assets over time. The opposite is true for those who lack self-belief. They second-guess their decisions, hesitate in opportunities, and allow fear and doubt to hold them back. Wealthy individuals don't rely on external circumstances or others' opinions to dictate their worth. They know that their value is inherent, not dependent on what others think. This belief in themselves is not born out of arrogance. It's born out of self-respect and the understanding that they are capable of achieving great things. They hold themselves accountable and take ownership of their success, knowing that they have the power to shape their future. Overcoming limiting beliefs. One of the first steps in cultivating self-belief is identifying and challenging your limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are the negative stories you tell yourself about money, success, and your capabilities. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, societal conditioning, or fears of failure. Common limiting beliefs include thoughts like, "I'm not good enough to be wealthy," "money is hard to make," or "I'll never be able to achieve financial freedom." These beliefs can hold you back from pursuing opportunities, making bold decisions, or even believing in your potential to succeed. To overcome these limiting beliefs, you need to first acknowledge them. Take a moment to reflect on any negative or self-limiting thoughts you may have about wealth. Then, challenge those beliefs by asking, is this belief based on facts, or is it just an assumption? What evidence do I have that contradicts this belief? What would someone who truly believes in their ability to build wealth do in this situation? By recognizing these limiting beliefs and replacing them with empowering ones, you can begin to build a stronger sense of self-belief. The more you reframe your mindset, the more confident and capable you will feel in making decisions that align with your financial goals. The role of affirmations. One of the most powerful tools for building self-belief is the use of affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself, helping to reinforce your belief in your own potential. For example, you might say, "I am worthy of financial success," "I am capable of achieving my financial goals," or "I make smart and confident financial decisions." By repeating these affirmations daily, you begin to shift your mindset and replace self-doubt with confidence. It's important to note that affirmations work best when they are specific, present tense, and tied to a belief you want to cultivate. Instead of general phrases like, "I am successful," use more specific affirmations, like, "I am building wealth every day through smart investments and disciplined habits." Affirmations can be a powerful tool for reinforcing your belief in yourself and your ability to succeed. They help shift your mental focus from scarcity and self-doubt to abundance and confidence. The more you believe in yourself, the more you will take the actions needed to achieve your financial goals. The link between self-belief and action. Self-belief is not just about thinking positively. It's about taking consistent action. When you truly believe in your ability to create wealth, you act on that belief. You take bold, decisive actions that move you closer to your financial goals. On the other hand, a lack of self-belief can lead to inaction, procrastination, or hesitation. You may doubt your abilities or worry about making the wrong choice. And as a result, you delay important decisions. Wealthy individuals are action takers. They don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. They move forward, confident that they will figure things out along the way. They believe that the most important thing is to take action, even if it's imperfect. This belief fuels their success. They don't fear failure. They embrace it as a learning opportunity. They know that taking action is what ultimately leads to results. Surrounding yourself with support. Self-belief doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. In fact, surrounding yourself with a supportive community of like-minded individuals is one of the best ways to nurture and reinforce your self-belief. Wealthy people understand the power of surrounding themselves with those who encourage, challenge, and inspire them. They know that the people you spend time with can either lift you up or drag you down. By connecting with people who share your vision for success and who believe in your potential, you create an environment that fosters growth and confidence. These people can offer valuable advice, provide motivation when you're feeling discouraged, and celebrate your successes with you. Building a supportive network is essential for cultivating and maintaining self-belief on your wealth-building journey. The power of visualization. Visualization is another powerful tool that can help strengthen your self-belief. When you visualize your financial success, you are not only creating a mental picture of what you want to achieve, but you are also mentally rehearsing the steps you'll take to get there. Visualization helps to reinforce the belief that your goals are achievable, and it creates a sense of familiarity with the future you're working toward. Take a few moments each day to visualize your ideal financial future. Picture yourself living your dream lifestyle, whether it's owning your own home, traveling the world, or having the freedom to spend time with your loved ones without worrying about money. Feel the emotions that come with achieving your financial goals: pride, gratitude, fulfillment. The more vividly you can imagine your success, the more it will fuel your self-belief and motivate you to take action. Conclusion. Believing in yourself is the first step. Self-belief is the cornerstone of wealth building. Without belief in your potential, you will struggle to take the necessary actions to build lasting wealth. But when you truly believe in yourself and your abilities, you will take bold, confident actions that move you closer to your financial goals. Start by identifying and challenging any limiting beliefs you have about wealth and success. Replace them with empowering thoughts that reinforce your belief in your ability to achieve financial freedom. Use affirmations, visualization, and surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your growth. The more you believe in your potential, the more success you will create. Remember, self-belief is not just a nice-to-have, it's a non-negotiable habit for building wealth. When you believe in yourself, you'll be unstoppable. Take the first step today by committing to believe in your ability to create lasting financial success. As you continue to strengthen your mindset and build your wealth, one principle becomes undeniably clear. Financial clarity is non-negotiable. If you truly want to create wealth, you must understand your finances in a clear, detailed, and strategic way. Financial clarity isn't just about knowing how much money you have. It's about having a deep, intimate understanding of where your money is going, how it's working for you, and where your opportunities for growth lie. The importance of financial clarity. Imagine for a moment that you're driving a car without a clear destination or roadmap. You might know where you are now, but you have no idea where you're headed or how to get there. This is how most people approach their finances, going through life without truly understanding the big picture, without knowing where their money is coming from or where it's going. Financial clarity is the roadmap to your financial future. Without it, you're navigating in the dark, making decisions based on assumptions or emotions rather than facts. Wealthy individuals know that to build lasting wealth, they must have a clear understanding of their financial situation. They track their income, expenses, assets, and liabilities regularly so that they can make informed decisions that align with their long-term goals. Financial clarity allows you to see the full picture. It helps you identify where your money is being spent, where you can cut back, and where you can invest more to increase your wealth. The clearer you are about your finances, the better decisions you can make about how to allocate your resources. You can stop reacting to financial stress and start taking proactive, strategic steps to grow your wealth. Tracking your finances. The first step to gaining financial clarity is to track your finances regularly. Most people avoid looking at their finances because it feels overwhelming or uncomfortable. But financial clarity comes from being in control, not from avoiding the truth. Start by tracking all of your income and expenses. You don't need to be an accountant to do this. There are many apps and tools available today that make it easy to get an overview of your financial situation. Use these tools to break down your expenses into categories: rent or mortgage, utilities, food, entertainment, debt payments, savings, and so on. This will give you a clear picture of where your money is going and where you might have opportunities to adjust your spending. Once you have a clear understanding of your income and expenses, it's time to take a deeper dive into your assets and liabilities. Wealthy individuals don't just track what comes in and goes out. They also track their assets and liabilities to ensure they are building wealth over time. Take inventory of what you own: real estate, investments, businesses, and compare that with what you owe: loans, credit card debt, mortgages. This will give you a sense of your net worth and help you identify areas for growth. Understanding your net worth. Your net worth is one of the most important metrics for understanding your financial situation. It's simply the difference between what you own, assets, and what you owe, liabilities. The higher your net worth, the more financial security you have, and the more resources you have to build wealth. If your liabilities outweigh your assets, it's time to take action and start shifting the balance toward asset building. Wealthy individuals pay close attention to their net worth because it gives them an accurate picture of their financial health. They know that their wealth is not just about income. It's about building assets that will appreciate over time. By tracking their net worth, they can identify areas where they need to focus their attention, whether it's paying down debt, increasing savings, or investing in assets that will grow in value. If you're serious about building wealth, start tracking your net worth regularly. Set aside time each month or quarter to calculate your assets, liabilities, and net worth. This will give you a clear understanding of where you stand financially and allow you to make informed decisions about how to move forward. Budgeting for growth. A critical component of financial clarity is budgeting. Budgeting is often seen as restrictive or limiting, but in reality, it's empowering. A budget gives you the freedom to allocate your money intentionally. It helps you prioritize your spending, cut back on unnecessary expenses, and put more money toward the things that matter most, like building assets, saving for the future, and investing in opportunities. When you create a budget, you're taking full control of your financial future. You're not at the mercy of external circumstances or impulses. Instead, you're making decisions that align with your financial goals and values. Wealthy individuals use budgets to ensure that their spending habits align with their long-term vision. They track their expenses carefully, ensuring that every dollar has a purpose, whether it's for investment, savings, or necessary expenses. A good budget isn't about depriving yourself. It's about being strategic with your resources. If you have a clear understanding of your income and expenses, you can allocate more money toward your wealth-building goals without sacrificing your quality of life. You can live intentionally and align your spending with your values, which ultimately leads to greater financial success. The link between financial clarity and financial freedom. Financial clarity is directly linked to financial freedom. When you have clarity about your finances, you make smarter decisions, avoid unnecessary debt, and build wealth more effectively. You understand how much money you need to sustain your lifestyle, how much you need to save for the future, and where you should invest to generate income. This clarity allows you to take control of your financial destiny, rather than letting life's circumstances control you. Wealthy individuals are not just focused on making money, they're focused on creating financial freedom. This freedom comes from having multiple streams of income, growing assets that appreciate over time, and having the flexibility to choose how they spend their time. Financial clarity is the first step toward achieving this freedom. Without it, it's easy to get caught in a cycle of working for money and living paycheck to paycheck. But when you gain clarity about your finances, you begin to see opportunities for growth and leverage that others might miss. Creating a financial plan for success. Once you have a clear understanding of your financial situation, the next step is to create a financial plan. A financial plan is a roadmap for your financial future. It outlines your goals, how you plan to achieve them, and the steps you'll take to get there. Your financial plan should include both short-term and long-term goals, and it should be aligned with your vision for the future. Wealthy individuals don't leave their financial success to chance. They create detailed plans, track their progress, and make adjustments as necessary. Your financial plan should include specific goals for saving, investing, and growing your assets. It should also include a budget that supports these goals and helps you stay on track. Having a financial plan is empowering. It gives you direction, purpose, and clarity about how to allocate your resources. With a clear plan in place, you can confidently make decisions about where to spend, save, and invest, knowing that every decision is aligned with your long-term vision. The importance of consistency and review. Financial clarity is not a one-time exercise. It's something that you need to revisit regularly. To maintain clarity, you must consistently review your finances, track your progress, and adjust your plan as necessary. Financial clarity requires ongoing attention and discipline. Wealthy individuals understand that consistency is key. They review their financial situation regularly, track their progress toward their goals, and make adjustments as needed. They are constantly looking for ways to optimize their financial situation, reduce wasteful spending, and increase their investments. Review your financial plan regularly to ensure that it aligns with your goals and values. This will give you the clarity you need to make informed decisions and stay on track toward your financial freedom. Conclusion: embrace financial clarity for wealth-building success. Financial clarity is a crucial element of wealth building. It allows you to understand your financial situation in detail, make informed decisions, and create a plan for long-term success. By tracking your income, expenses, net worth, and assets, you gain the clarity you need to build wealth strategically. Wealthy individuals know that financial clarity is the key to making smart decisions and building lasting wealth. They understand that clarity provides the confidence and direction needed to achieve financial freedom. Start today by gaining clarity about your financial situation, creating a plan for success, and consistently reviewing your progress. With financial clarity, you'll be empowered to make the best decisions for your future, and you'll be on the path to achieving lasting financial success. As you continue to build your wealth and gain clarity about your financial situation, one critical mindset shift is understanding that wealth isn't just about making more money. It's about building systems and creating leverage. While earning money is essential, leveraging systems, people, and processes allows wealthy individuals to multiply their efforts and results. This concept of leverage isn't just limited to finances. It can be applied to your time, energy, and talents. Wealthy individuals understand the power of working smarter, not harder. They don't rely solely on their own efforts to generate wealth. They build systems that work for them, allowing them to scale their efforts and free up their time. This is where the concept of leverage comes into play. Leverage is about using your resources, including your time, money, and relationships, in ways that multiply the impact of your efforts. What is leverage? At its core, leverage is the ability to achieve greater results with less effort. It's the secret sauce that allows wealthy individuals to create massive wealth without being bogged down by the minutiae of daily tasks. Leverage can take many forms: financial leverage, using debt to acquire assets; human leverage, building teams that execute on your behalf; technological leverage, using automation and software tools; and intellectual leverage, leveraging your expertise and creativity to create valuable products or services. For example, consider a real estate investor who uses borrowed capital, leverage, to acquire rental properties. They don't have to come up with all the capital themselves. Instead, they use the bank's money to finance the deal, while the rental income generated from the property covers the cost of the loan and produces positive cash flow. This is leverage at work. The investor is able to control an asset worth much more than the money they personally invested. Leverage can also come from people. As you build wealth, you'll quickly realize that you can't do everything yourself. Wealthy individuals know this, which is why they build teams, delegate tasks, and hire experts. They leverage the skills and knowledge of others to multiply their results. Instead of spending time doing everything themselves, they focus on high-value activities and allow their teams to handle the rest. Financial leverage, using debt to build wealth. One of the most powerful ways to leverage your wealth is by using debt strategically. Debt, when used wisely, can be a tool for building wealth. This is a concept that many people shy away from, as they see debt as a negative thing. However, wealthy individuals understand the difference between bad debt, which drains your resources, and good debt, which helps you acquire assets that generate income and appreciate over time. For example, imagine you want to buy an investment property. You don't have enough cash to buy it outright, but you can use a mortgage, debt, to purchase the property. The rental income from the property covers the mortgage payments, and over time, the property appreciates in value. In this case, the debt is helping you acquire an asset that produces cash flow and grows in value, ultimately contributing to your wealth. The key to using debt effectively is ensuring that the assets you acquire with that debt produce positive cash flow or appreciate in value. This way, the debt works for you rather than against you. It's about using leverage to acquire assets that generate more wealth than the cost of the debt. Leveraging time, building systems, and automating processes. One of the most effective ways to build wealth is by leveraging your time. Time is a finite resource, and there's only so much of it to go around. Wealthy individuals understand this, which is why they invest in systems, tools, and processes that save them time and allow them to focus on high-leverage activities. They automate routine tasks, delegate low-value work, and focus on building systems that generate long-term results. Automation is a key aspect of leveraging time. By using technology and software, you can automate everything from your finances to your business operations. For example, many successful entrepreneurs use automated systems to handle customer inquiries, manage sales funnels, and track financial metrics. These systems run in the background, allowing the business owner to focus on more strategic, growth-oriented activities without getting bogged down in the day-to-day tasks. By building systems that work for you, you free up your time to focus on higher-value activities, such as growing your business, building relationships, and investing in new opportunities. Systems allow you to scale your efforts without adding more time or effort to the equation. Leveraging people. Building teams to multiply your efforts. Another powerful form of leverage is people. As you grow your wealth, you'll reach a point where it's impossible to do everything yourself. This is where building a team becomes essential. Wealthy individuals don't try to do everything. They surround themselves with talented people who can help them execute on their vision. Building a team can take many forms. You might hire employees, outsource tasks, or work with business partners who complement your skills. The goal is to create a team that can handle the tasks and responsibilities that are outside of your area of expertise, allowing you to focus on what you do best. This leverage allows you to scale your efforts and multiply your results. For example, a successful entrepreneur might hire a team to handle marketing, customer service, and product development. This frees them up to focus on strategic growth, partnerships, and high-level decision-making. The more you can delegate and leverage the skills of others, the more you can accomplish without adding more hours to your day. Leveraging knowledge and expertise. Leverage also comes from your intellectual capital, your knowledge, skills, and expertise. Wealthy individuals leverage their knowledge to create products, services, and opportunities that generate wealth over time. Whether it's writing a book, creating an online course, or launching a consulting business, your intellectual capital can be a powerful source of leverage. For example, if you're an expert in a particular field, you can leverage that expertise to create a passive income stream by writing a book or creating an online course. Once the product is created, it can be sold repeatedly without requiring you to actively work every time. This is leverage at work. You're using your knowledge and expertise to create something that generates income over time. Leveraging your network. One of the most underutilized forms of leverage is your network. Wealthy individuals understand the power of relationships and the value of surrounding themselves with people who can help them achieve their goals. They leverage their networks to find opportunities, gain insights, and access resources that would otherwise be out of reach. Building a strong network of like-minded individuals, mentors, and business partners can provide you with access to valuable opportunities and information. whether it's learning from others' successes and failures, finding new investment opportunities, or getting advice on business decisions. Your network is a powerful tool for leveraging your efforts. Conclusion: the power of leverage is one of the most powerful tools in wealth building. By using leverage strategically, you can achieve greater results with less effort. Whether it's through financial leverage, leveraging your time with systems and automation, building teams to multiply your efforts, or leveraging your knowledge and network. Wealth is created when you learn how to use your resources in the most efficient and effective way possible. Wealthy individuals understand the concept of leverage and use it to their advantage. They don't rely solely on their own efforts. They build systems, delegate tasks, and leverage people, money, and time to multiply their success. By embracing leverage, you can accelerate your wealth-building journey and create lasting financial freedom. As you continue to develop a millionaire mindset, it's crucial to understand one key aspect that underpins all long-term success: delayed gratification. Wealthy individuals do not seek instant rewards or shortcuts. They understand the importance of making decisions today that will pay off significantly in the future. Delaying gratification is a powerful mental habit that allows you to make smarter financial decisions, build wealth over time, and enjoy the freedom that comes with it. The importance of delayed gratification. At the heart of wealth building is the ability to delay gratification. In a world where instant gratification is increasingly prevalent, whether it's through the convenience of online shopping, fast food, or immediate access to entertainment, delayed gratification is becoming more difficult to practice. However, it is also one of the most essential habits for achieving financial freedom. Wealthy individuals understand that wealth is not built overnight. It takes time, patience, and the ability to prioritize long-term goals over short-term pleasures. Instead of indulging in every whim or desire in the moment, they make decisions that align with their long-term vision. They focus on their financial goals, even when it means foregoing immediate rewards. The power of patience in building wealth. When you practice delayed gratification, you tap into the power of patience. The road to wealth is long and winding, and success doesn't happen in a flash. In fact, many of the wealthiest individuals have made their fortunes by making consistent, disciplined decisions over a period of years, or even decades. For instance, instead of spending money on luxury items or unnecessary purchases, they invest in assets that will grow in value over time, like real estate, stocks, or businesses. The wealthy are patient. They understand that their investments will compound and generate returns, but only if they resist the urge to spend money frivolously in the meantime. Patience is what allows them to hold on to investments long enough to see their value appreciate. It's about avoiding the temptation to cash out or make rash decisions based on short-term market fluctuations. This long-term focus is what separates those who build wealth from those who spend their money impulsively, chasing fleeting pleasures. The impulse to spend versus the discipline to save and invest. A key part of delayed gratification is learning to manage your impulses. The desire to spend money is natural. It feels good to buy something you want or need. But wealthy individuals understand the difference between wants and needs, and they practice discipline in how they allocate their resources. They don't make purchases based on impulse. They make intentional, calculated decisions based on their financial goals. The ability to resist immediate temptations and instead invest in assets is one of the most powerful ways to build wealth. Imagine a situation where you get a raise or a bonus at work. Instead of spending that extra money on a vacation or a new car, you decide to invest it, whether in stocks, real estate, or another asset that will grow over time. This decision may feel like a sacrifice in the short term, but in the long term, it pays off. The wealthy know that it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep and how wisely you invest it. Every dollar you save and invest today is an opportunity to build wealth for tomorrow. Why instant gratification holds you back? Instant gratification, the desire to satisfy your urges immediately, may feel good in the short term, but it often holds you back from achieving your long-term goals. This is especially true when it comes to your finances. The more you give in to the impulse to spend, the more you delay your financial freedom. The instant gratification mindset is often driven by emotions. When you're stressed, bored, or seeking validation, you may turn to shopping, entertainment, or other external distractions to fill the void. While this might provide temporary relief, it doesn't move you closer to your financial goals. In fact, it pulls you further away from them. In contrast, delayed gratification is driven by your vision for the future. It's about making decisions today that serve your long-term goals, even if they're difficult or uncomfortable in the moment. Wealthy individuals are able to delay gratification because they have a strong sense of purpose and a clear vision for their financial future. They are willing to make short-term sacrifices for long-term success. Building the habit of delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is not something that happens overnight. It's a habit that takes time to develop. But like any habit, it becomes easier with practice and repetition. The more you focus on your long-term goals and make decisions that align with those goals, the easier it becomes to resist the urge to indulge in immediate pleasures. One way to build the habit of delayed gratification is to set specific, measurable goals for your financial future. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, whether it's financial freedom, a home, a business, or a retirement fund, you are more motivated to resist the impulse to spend. You can remind yourself that the purchases you are resisting today will help you achieve your goals faster and more effectively in the future. Start small. Each time you feel the impulse to make an impulsive purchase, take a moment to pause and reflect on your long-term goals. Ask yourself if this purchase will help you move closer to your financial freedom, or if it will just give you temporary satisfaction. Over time, you'll begin to develop the mental discipline necessary to delay gratification in favor of building wealth. The role of goals and vision in delayed gratification. Setting clear, specific financial goals is essential for practicing delayed gratification. When you have a strong sense of purpose and a clear vision of your future, it's easier to say no to the short-term pleasures that might derail your progress. Wealthy individuals know exactly what they're working toward, and this makes it easier to avoid distractions. For example, let's say your goal is to buy a home in the next 5 years. To achieve this, you may need to save a significant amount of money for a down payment. You may feel the urge to spend your money on a vacation or a new gadget. But when you remember your goal, the desire to save becomes stronger. You're able to delay gratification because you are focused on your long-term vision. This same principle applies to investing. You may be tempted to spend money on things that don't appreciate in value. But if your financial goal is to build wealth through investments, you'll be more inclined to put your money into stocks, real estate, or other assets that will grow in value over time. The reward of delayed gratification. While delayed gratification may seem difficult in the moment, the rewards are immense. The more you practice delaying gratification, the more wealth you build, and the closer you get to financial freedom. Wealthy individuals who consistently practice delayed gratification reap the benefits of their long-term focus. They are able to live a life of abundance, financial security, and freedom. As you practice this habit, remember that every small step counts. Each time you delay a purchase or decide to invest instead of spend, you are moving closer to your long-term goals. Wealth is built on small, consistent actions over time. When you delay gratification and make decisions that serve your future, you're making an investment in yourself and your future success. Conclusion. Embrace the power of delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is one of the most powerful habits you can develop in your journey to wealth building. It requires discipline, patience, and a clear vision of your long-term goals. But the rewards are well worth the effort. By delaying immediate pleasures in favor of long-term wealth building, you are taking control of your financial future and setting yourself up for lasting success. Start small, stay focused on your goals, and embrace the power of delayed gratification. Over time, you'll see how your patience and discipline pay off, leading you to financial freedom and the life you've always dreamed of. One of the most impactful and often overlooked habits in building wealth is understanding the concept of asset thinking. If you want to achieve lasting financial success, you need to shift your mindset from focusing solely on earning money to focusing on acquiring and building assets. Wealth is not built through earning a paycheck alone. It's built through owning assets that appreciate, generate passive income, and provide long-term financial stability. Understanding assets versus liabilities. The first step in developing an asset-based mindset is understanding the distinction between assets and liabilities. Most people think they're building wealth when they earn a high salary or accumulate expensive possessions. However, just because something seems valuable doesn't necessarily mean it's an asset. An asset, by definition, is something that puts money in your pocket, either through appreciation or by generating passive income. A liability, on the other hand, takes money out of your pocket, either through upkeep, interest, or depreciation. Wealthy individuals know that in order to build long-term wealth, they must focus on acquiring assets, properties, stocks, businesses, intellectual property, and other investments that generate income or appreciate over time. They don't fall for the trap of accumulating liabilities that drain their resources, such as high-maintenance cars, expensive vacations, or excessive consumer goods. While these items may bring short-term pleasure, they don't contribute to long-term financial freedom. Think about it. You could have a high-paying job that provides a substantial income, but if you spend that money on liabilities that don't generate future value, you're not actually building wealth. On the other hand, you might earn a modest income, but if you focus on building assets, you can create wealth over time that doesn't depend on your salary alone. The power of building income-generating assets. When you think like a millionaire, you shift your focus from earning money to accumulating income-generating assets. These are the true building blocks of wealth. Imagine a scenario where you purchase a rental property. The property generates monthly rental income, which covers the mortgage and still leaves you with a profit. Over time, the property appreciates in value, and you can either sell it for a substantial gain or continue to collect passive income. Real estate is just one example of an income-generating asset. stocks, bonds, and dividends can also provide regular income streams. Starting a business, creating intellectual property, or investing in small businesses are also ways to build assets that generate income. The key is to focus on acquiring assets that continue to work for you, even when you're not actively working. Unlike a traditional job, where your income is directly tied to the number of hours you work, assets allow you to earn money passively. By accumulating income-generating assets, you free yourself from trading time for money. This is the true power of financial freedom. Earning money while you sleep, while you travel, or while you spend time with family and friends. Reinvesting in assets. The mindset of wealth building doesn't stop at acquiring assets. It also involves reinvesting the income generated from those assets. Wealthy individuals don't simply take the profits they earn from investments and spend them on luxuries. Instead, they reinvest those profits into acquiring additional assets. This creates a cycle of growth that compounds over time, exponentially increasing their wealth. For example, imagine you own a rental property that generates $1,000 per month in income. Rather than spending that $1,000, you choose to reinvest it in another property or put it into stocks that provide dividends. By reinvesting your profits, you're accelerating your wealth-building process. Over time, the more assets you acquire and reinvest in, the more passive income you'll generate. This is how wealth compounds. It doesn't just happen overnight, but through consistent reinvestment and acquisition of new assets. The role of savings in asset building. While saving money is important, it's not the end goal. Saving money in a traditional savings account may give you some financial security, but it won't make you wealthy. Instead, wealthy individuals use savings as a tool to acquire more assets. They save with a purpose, to invest in opportunities that will generate future income. The key to successful saving is understanding that the goal is not to simply accumulate cash, but to invest that cash in assets that will grow over time. Think of your savings as seed capital. Rather than letting it sit idly in an account, use it to invest in real estate, stocks, or a business. Saving with a purpose is a crucial step in building a portfolio of assets that will provide long-term financial security and freedom. Wealthy individuals don't rely on their savings alone. They leverage savings to acquire assets that grow their wealth. This mindset shift from saving to investing is crucial for building wealth. Building a portfolio of assets. To achieve lasting financial freedom, it's important to build a diversified portfolio of assets. Relying on just one source of income or one type of asset is risky. Wealthy individuals understand the value of diversification. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. By building a portfolio that includes a variety of assets, they reduce their risk while increasing their chances of long-term success. A well-diversified portfolio could include real estate, stocks, bonds, intellectual property, businesses, and other investments. Each type of asset has its own benefits and risks, but together, they provide a balanced, stable foundation for growing wealth. By spreading your investments across different types of assets, you increase the likelihood of generating steady income streams and protecting your wealth from market volatility. In addition to diversification, wealthy individuals also focus on quality over quantity. They don't try to accumulate as many assets as possible. They focus on acquiring high-quality assets that will appreciate in value or generate strong returns. This means carefully researching investment opportunities, selecting assets with strong growth potential, and being strategic about your choices. Leveraging debt to build assets. Another powerful way to build assets is by leveraging debt. While many people view debt as something to avoid, wealthy individuals use it as a tool to acquire more assets. Using leverage allows you to control more assets than you could with your own capital alone, which can amplify your returns. For example, taking out a mortgage to buy a rental property allows you to control a much larger asset than if you were to pay for the property outright. While the debt needs to be managed carefully, it allows you to invest in real estate without tying up all your savings, as long as the income generated from the asset exceeds the cost of the debt. Leveraging debt can be an effective way to build wealth. It's important to use debt strategically, ensuring that the returns from your investments outweigh the cost of the debt. When used wisely, debt can be a powerful tool for accelerating wealth building and acquiring valuable assets. Asset thinking and the wealth building journey. Developing an asset-based mindset is key to building lasting wealth. Wealthy individuals don't focus solely on earning income. They focus on acquiring assets that will provide long-term financial security and passive income. By shifting your mindset from earning to owning, you begin to see opportunities for wealth building that you might have overlooked before. It's not just about accumulating money. It's about acquiring income-generating assets that work for you over time. Whether it's real estate, stocks, businesses, or intellectual property. Assets are the key to building wealth that lasts. By reinvesting your profits, diversifying your portfolio, and leveraging debt strategically, you create a powerful foundation for financial freedom. Conclusion: embrace asset thinking for long-term success. The path to lasting wealth is paved with assets, not income alone. By adopting an asset-based mindset, you can shift your focus from short-term earnings to long-term wealth creation. Start by identifying opportunities to acquire assets, whether it's real estate, stocks, or businesses, and reinvest your profits to grow your portfolio. With time, patience, and strategic thinking, you'll build a foundation of assets that will provide financial security and freedom for years to come. Remember, wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep, how wisely you invest it, and how you leverage those investments to build lasting wealth. Start thinking like an asset builder and watch your financial future transform. As you reach the final stages of building your wealth, it's important to realize that true financial freedom is not just about accumulating money. It's about creating a life of purpose and impact. Wealthy individuals understand that financial success is just one aspect of their lives. What truly matters is how they use their wealth to create a lasting impact on the world, their communities, and the people they care about. This is where the concept of legacy thinking comes into play. What is legacy thinking? Legacy thinking is the practice of focusing on long-term impact, not just short-term gains. It's about thinking beyond your own lifetime and considering how the wealth you build can create a positive effect long after you're gone. Wealthy individuals are not just interested in accumulating wealth for themselves. They want to use their success to create value that will extend beyond their own personal benefit. At its core, legacy thinking is about purpose. It's about using your resources to support causes that matter to you, building systems that serve others, and making a difference in the world. This thinking shifts the focus from how much can I accumulate to how can I make the world a better place. Wealth becomes a tool for greater purpose, and financial freedom allows you to live a life aligned with your values and passions. Building a legacy beyond wealth. The idea of building a legacy goes beyond just financial wealth. It's about creating a legacy of influence, wisdom, and impact. Wealthy individuals often focus on how they can give back, whether it's through philanthropy, mentorship, or leaving a lasting imprint on their industries. They understand that true success is measured not by how much you accumulate, but by how much you contribute. A legacy is not just about money. It's about the values you instill in the next generation, the knowledge you pass on, and the positive change you create in the world. Many wealthy individuals dedicate a portion of their wealth to causes they believe in, whether it's supporting education, healthcare, the environment, or social justice. They understand that their wealth allows them to make a difference, and they use it for the greater good. Think about the legacy you want to leave. What values do you want to pass down to your children or community? What causes do you care deeply about? How can you use your resources, both financial and personal, to make a lasting impact? These are the questions that guide legacy thinking. Financial freedom and freedom of choice. At its core, wealth building is about creating the freedom to live life on your own terms. Financial freedom allows you to make choices without being bound by financial constraints. But even more importantly, it provides the freedom to create the life you want, one that aligns with your personal values and long-term vision. When you achieve financial freedom, you're no longer working solely for money. Instead, you're working toward a life that brings fulfillment, purpose, and satisfaction. Whether it's spending more time with loved ones, traveling, pursuing passions, or starting businesses that align with your values, financial freedom provides the ability to choose how you spend your time and resources. Wealthy individuals understand that freedom of choice is the true reward of financial success. The ability to live authentically, make decisions based on your values, and contribute to the world in meaningful ways is the ultimate form of wealth. Financial freedom is not just about having more money. It's about having the freedom to live your life according to your deepest desires. How to align your wealth with your values. Building wealth is not just about accumulating assets. It's about aligning your financial decisions with your values. Wealthy individuals make decisions based on long-term goals and personal principles, not on short-term desires. Every financial choice they make is grounded in a sense of purpose and a desire to make an impact, to build a life that aligns with your values. Start by defining what truly matters to you. What are the causes that you care about? What kind of life do you want to live? Once you have clarity on your values and vision, make sure that your financial decisions align with them, whether it's choosing investments that support your values, giving back to causes you care about, or creating businesses that contribute to your mission. It's essential to live intentionally with your wealth. This doesn't mean avoiding luxury or enjoying the fruits of your labor. It simply means making sure that your wealth serves a greater purpose. When your financial success aligns with your values, it not only brings financial freedom, but also fulfillment. You're not just building wealth for the sake of wealth. You're using it to build a life that is meaningful, purposeful, and impactful. The power of giving and contribution. One of the most powerful aspects of legacy thinking is the power of giving. Wealthy individuals understand that wealth is a tool for creating positive change in the world, and they use their resources to support causes that align with their values, whether through philanthropy, charitable donations, or direct involvement in community efforts. The act of giving is a cornerstone of legacy thinking. But giving isn't just about money. It's about contributing your time, knowledge, and expertise to help others. Many wealthy individuals dedicate time to mentorship, sharing their knowledge and experience with the next generation of entrepreneurs and leaders. They understand that their wealth is not just for their personal gain, it's for the betterment of others. The power of giving is twofold. Not only does it create positive change in the world, but it also enriches the giver. The act of contributing to others can bring a sense of fulfillment and purpose that financial success alone cannot provide. Giving is an integral part of legacy thinking, and it's one of the most meaningful ways to leave a lasting impact. Creating systems that serve others. Another key element of legacy thinking is the creation of systems that serve others. This is particularly important for entrepreneurs and business owners who want to build businesses that provide value beyond profits. By creating businesses, products, and services that solve problems and meet the needs of others, you create a system that continues to generate impact long after your direct involvement. Building a business with a mission is a powerful way to create a lasting legacy. Wealthy individuals understand that the businesses they create are not just vehicles for making money. They are opportunities to solve problems, improve lives, and make the world a better place. Whether it's a company that provides jobs, a product that enhances people's lives, or a service that addresses a societal need, creating systems that serve others ensures that your wealth-building efforts leave a positive mark on the world. Passing down your knowledge and values. Legacy thinking also involves passing down your knowledge, wisdom, and values to future generations. This can be one of the most impactful ways to create a lasting legacy. Many wealthy individuals take an active role in teaching their children or mentees about money, business, and personal responsibility. They want to ensure that their wealth-building mindset is passed on, not just their financial assets. It's important to teach the next generation about the importance of hard work, discipline, and delayed gratification. By passing on your values and financial principles, you give your children or successors the tools they need to continue building wealth and making a positive impact on the world. Conclusion. Building a legacy that lasts. Building a legacy is about much more than just accumulating wealth. It's about creating something that endures long after you're gone. It's about using your resources to create positive change, build systems that serve others, and pass down your values and knowledge to the next generation. Legacy thinking is about living a life of purpose and impact, where your wealth serves a greater mission and leaves a lasting mark on the world. As you continue on your journey to financial freedom, remember that wealth is a tool, not an end in itself. Use it to create a life that aligns with your values, to give back to others, and to leave a legacy that transcends money. True wealth is not measured by how much you accumulate, but by the positive impact you create and the legacy you leave behind. As we reach the final section of your wealth-building journey, it's important to reflect on all the principles you've learned and how they work together to create the foundation for lasting financial freedom. Now that you understand the power of mindset, delayed gratification, asset building, and legacy thinking, it's time to integrate these elements into a holistic approach to wealth building. The key is consistency, discipline, and the belief that your efforts today will pay off in ways you might not see immediately, but will ultimately transform your life. Consistency is key. One of the most powerful habits you can develop on your journey toward wealth is consistency. Wealthy individuals don't achieve success through bursts of activity or random isolated efforts. They achieve wealth by consistently showing up and doing the work, day after day, year after year. This means sticking to your financial plan, continuously learning, and staying disciplined even when the results aren't immediately visible. Consistency is the engine that drives wealth building. It's easy to get distracted by short-term setbacks or overwhelmed by the long road ahead. But those who stay the course, who keep working toward their goals consistently, are the ones who build lasting wealth. Wealth isn't created overnight. It's the result of small, consistent decisions, actions, and investments made over time. Building wealth requires long-term commitment. The process of building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. In the fast-paced, instant gratification culture we live in, it can be tempting to chase quick wins and try to shortcut the process. However, true wealth is built through long-term commitment, patience, and strategic thinking. Wealthy individuals understand that their financial journey will have ups and downs, and they accept that it may take time to see the fruits of their labor, whether it's through investing in assets, building businesses, or expanding their knowledge. The key is to keep moving forward with purpose, even when the results aren't immediately clear. Commit to making small improvements every day. Commit to making decisions that align with your long-term goals, even when it feels difficult. By doing so, you build momentum and move closer to financial freedom, step by step, over time. These small, consistent actions will compound, and you'll find yourself in a position of financial strength. Mastering the mental game building wealth is not just about money. It's about mastering the mental game. The wealthiest individuals know that their mindset shapes their reality. This journey is as much about psychological resilience as it is about financial strategy. As you build your wealth, you will face challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. But what will set you apart is how you respond to these challenges. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they handle adversity. Wealthy individuals embrace failure as a learning experience. They don't let setbacks define them. They use them to improve, adapt, and grow stronger. When you master the mental game, you'll learn to see obstacles as opportunities for growth, and you'll develop the resilience to keep going even when things aren't going your way. Shifting from scarcity to abundance. One of the most profound shifts you will need to make on your wealth-building journey is moving from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. Many people live with a scarcity mindset. They believe that there's not enough to go around, that opportunities are limited, and that their financial situation is out of their control. This mindset keeps them stuck in a cycle of fear and limitation. In contrast, those who build lasting wealth adopt an abundance mindset. They believe that there are endless opportunities for growth and that their actions can create value for themselves and others. By focusing on abundance, you shift your perspective from one of limitation to one of possibility. You begin to see opportunities where others see challenges. You take risks because you know that the world is full of opportunities, and your efforts will be rewarded in the long run. To shift from scarcity to abundance. Start by reframing your thoughts about money. Instead of thinking, "There's never enough money," begin thinking, "There are endless ways to create wealth and value." Practice gratitude for the resources you already have, and focus on the opportunities in front of you rather than the obstacles. Embrace your wealth-building journey. Another key aspect of lasting financial success is learning to embrace the journey, not just the destination. It's easy to become fixated on achieving a specific financial milestone, whether it's reaching a certain net worth, buying a dream house, or retiring early. But wealthy individuals understand that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. Wealth building is not just about the end result. It's about the person you become along the way. It's about developing habits, resilience, and character. Embrace the journey and find fulfillment in the process, not just in the outcome. By doing so, you'll not only achieve your financial goals, but also create a life that brings you satisfaction and meaning. As you embrace your wealth-building journey, remember to celebrate your progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Every lesson learned, every decision made, and every setback overcome is part of the story that leads to lasting success. Final thoughts. Your legacy awaits. Now that you've gained a deeper understanding of the principles and habits that lead to financial success, the next step is to take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today, right where you are. Whether you're just beginning your wealth-building journey or you're already on your way, remember that your success is within your control. You have the power to take charge of your financial future, to build wealth, and to create a legacy that will last. The key is consistency, patience, and a willingness to embrace the journey. By adopting the mindset and habits of the wealthy, you will unlock the doors to financial freedom and create a life that aligns with your deepest values. The journey to financial freedom is one of growth, resilience, and purpose. As you move forward, remember that wealth is not just about what you accumulate, but about what you create, the impact you have, and the legacy you leave. Your story is just beginning, and the best chapters are yet to come. Take the first step today. Commit to the habits and mindset that will set you on the path to lasting wealth, and watch as your life transforms.